Right now on Eyewitness News at 6 a.m., the storm is moving out. My sister Larissa is tracking what's next for our region, and a federal mask mandate has been struck down, like for employees and customers. Those cheers that you heard on the TV screen are definitely going to be turning into some happiness and whatnot. And the latest on Max being required, despite the fact that the Sixers won their game last night against the Raptors in game number 2. Today is Tuesday already. It is April 19th, 2022. My name is William, and I'm filling in for Aunt Chandler and Uncle James. Let's begin our forecast with meteorologist Larissa Abreu, who happens to be my big sister. Go ahead and take it away, LA. All right, Larissa, thank you so much, my sister. It's a tough start to your Tuesday morning commute. We've had a ton of accidents. This is a new one from Wilmington, Delaware on the Interstate 495 northbound near 12th Street. There were no reports of anybody else's injuries, but delays are still coming into play. On the Interstate 95 at Amtrak, there's an accident in the northbound direction. All lanes have been reopened. And breaking news overnight, a live look at Horsham Township, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. All that happened around 1 a.m. on Keith Valley Road in Park Creek in Horsham Township. One driver has to be rescued. No word on any injuries. Also breaking overnight, something happened in Wildwood Crest in New Jersey. This happened at New Jersey and Washington Avenue. We should see most of that flooding begin to recede very soon. If you haven't done it already, make sure you get the latest updates on CBS Philly by getting it for Android and Apple devices like an iPhone or iPad. A federal judge struck down the max mandate of CDC, but the ruling comes as Philadelphia being the first major city to reinstate its max mandate requirement. We get the live team coverage from Waukesha Bailey, my aunt, live at the Wells Fargo Center, and then my Uncle Ross DiMattei live at Philadelphia International Airport. So we'll go to him first with more on the ruling affecting travelers. Good morning, Uncle Ross.
Thousands of travelers getting stuck in this line, and it just seems a little bit extra busy on this Tuesday morning. The second thing is, there's not really anyone here to enforce this mask policy. A lot of these travelers know that there were changes made overnight, but they don't know exactly what those new policies are, so we haven't seen anyone to enforce it. Not a whole lot of signage out here. I also want to show you some video of just the overwhelming number of travelers we have seen not wearing masks. I say overwhelming, it really hasn't been overwhelming. We did kind of a social experiment where I counted some people as they walked by, and I would estimate between 70 and 90% of the travelers here are wearing the mask. So actually, the majority of folks are, following the rules, wearing the mask, but some are not. I think there's just some general confusion there. So let's go over what the rules are. Like I mentioned, you're supposed to wear it inside the airport and at the terminal, but once you get on board your plane, you do not have to wear them anymore. In most cases, many of the major airlines, including Southwest, Southwest, American, United, JetBlue, Spirit, and Frontier Airlines, just to name a few, are dropping that mask mandate once you get on board. It is then optional. You can wear it if you want, but you don't have to. Now, let's talk Amtrak trains. Employees and riders are no longer required to wear a mask, although Amtrak does say that masks are an effective way to prevent contracting COVID-19, so they encourage riders to continue wearing one if they want to. And masks are now encouraged but not required at all SEPTA stations as well, and concourses and onboard trains and buses. That applies to all riders and employees. Travelers we talked to here at the airport are, as you would imagine, pretty split on this new policy in itself.
Really confusing.
What are your thoughts on it?
Just doesn't seem to make any sense. You could have one policy and a different policy, and they keep going back and forth. So,
what are your guys' plans once you get on board?
we will take our mask off when we go to the plane.
You'll take it off?
Yes.
You sure will?
Yeah.
So,
We're all vaccinated and boosted, so
the fact that you have to wear. Tell me, how do you feel about masks on the plane?
I think it's going to change. Sometimes we have to wear them, sometimes we don't. But I hate to have it. We're so spoiled. You have people fighting in Ukraine and we can't put a mask on. So I'll do what is common sense, you know?
What do you think you'll do once you get on board plane? Because you don't have to wear it.
I'll wear it. We're all close together, and then when I get out in the air, I'll take it off.
So there you have it right there in that example. Confusion, division still remains even after these policy changes. And just adding to the confusion, some transportation systems like NJ Transit are still requiring all riders to wear the mask on board their vehicles. So I think the best advice is to just keep the mask handy if you do have travel plans. You don't know what the policy is going to be at every single location, so better to have one than not. For live at the Philadelphia International Airport this morning, Ross Tay.
That's a good plan right there. All right, Uncle Ross, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Now we check in with my aunt Waukesha Bailey. She doesn't have to wear a mask. She's live at the Wells Fargo Center in South Philadelphia, where we spotted some Sixers fans not following the city's new mask mandate last night. Good morning, Aunt Waukesha.
Some fans thought it was optional, but we know that was not the case. One thing is for sure, though, there was a lot of excitement in this arena.
It's really good to see you guys in the playoffs. Sixers going all the way this year, baby.
Fans excited and decked out in Sixers swag with one essential accessory, a mask.
I hate it tomorrow, but I gotta follow the rules and regulations. So here I am.
Beginning Monday, Philadelphia reinstated its mask mandate, requiring masks to be worn inside businesses, including arenas and stadiums. Don't worry, if you forgot your mask, the event staff had you covered.
I never took mine off anyway.
As the Sixers take a 2-0 series lead over the Toronto Raptors, fans had no problem cheering on their favorite players, although most of their faces were covered.
Oh, they can hear me. Go Sixers! Yes!
oh, don't hear us. Don't worry about the mask. I'll hear right through this.
But we noticed dozens of people maskless in the stands, with no one in sight to mandate, while others followed the rules.
Safety first.
And tomorrow, the Sixers take on the Raptors in Toronto, where there is no mask mandate. Reporting from Wells Fargo Center, Waukesha Bailey, CBS.
All right, Aunt Waukesha, thanks very much. As my Aunt Waukesha said, folks, the Sixers defeated the Raptors 112-97 as they took a 2-0 series lead. The same two teams will play again Wednesday, April 20th in Toronto for game number 3. In that game, Joel Embiid had the most amount of points. He had 31 points and was player of the game. Tyrese Maxey had 23. And with that being said, let's hope the Sixers will be A-OK, despite the fact that Matisse Thybulle won't be able to play because he needs to follow the vaccine rules of Canada. A live look at Ocean City on this Tuesday. The good news is the heavy rain has been moved out of here. If we can just warm up a bit, things will be A-OK. Meteorologist Larissa Abreu, my sister, has her second check on the weather. Larissa, take it away, sister.
Record chilling cold. So yeah, it's definitely has gone backwards. But the good news is this is the coldest time of the week because moving forward we are looking at a warm up. I wanted to start things off with a couple of the reports that we had moving through, and we had all sorts of reports from snow showers out towards the middle of the state to flooding right the shore, as well as flooding in parts of the Jersey Shore. So it's just been such an active 24 hours. Here's the storm system. It will continue to move on out of here. In fact, the bulk of it has already shifted north, but we're still dealing with a few wraparound snow showers and rain showers that are currently rotating on through the region. Now, it's pretty cloudy out there right now. I do suspect clouds will break, at least for the first part of the day. We're not going to be completely clear, but we will see some sunny breaks. Winds will remain quite noticeable out of the west today, ranging between 20 to 25 miles an hour. Those are your sustained winds, gusting closer to 30, 35 miles an hour. As we head towards tonight, another chilly night with temperatures back down into the 30s. And then tomorrow, we are waking up to clear skies, lots of sunshine for the middle of the week, a nice warming trend through Friday, and we remain pleasant even through this upcoming weekend.
Yup, those temperatures will be back in the 70s and 60s before you know it. Thank you very much, Larissa. We're not the only ones dealing with some wild weather, a lot to clean up and needed in areas to our south. Plus, also ahead, a home invasion that happened in the Mayfair section. And on alert, the avian flu is being monitored closely after a case is being discovered in our area. What officials are going to do when the news at 6 a.m. continues. Stay right there, folks.